Cool. Okay, so let's hit this second segment. So the second segment is called "I Tried to Tell You," and this is where we talk about what we think is going to happen at UFC 296. So we're going to talk about the fight of the night, the KO of the night, submission of the night, the I don't know what the fuck is about to happen, and the most boring fight of the night. So we can start at the most boring fight of the night.
Okay.
I think we might actually pick the same one.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm really glad that we didn't discuss this or trade information beforehand, because I was very interested to see how. And this segment of yours, by the way, I really love. So to be a part of it now, I'm a bit. I've got goosebumps, you know. So. All right. This is the one I've kind of mentally framed as like turd of the night. That's how I'm kind of trying to see it. And I did have another term for it, but I said to you beforehand I was going to do my best to behave in what language I was going to use. It's difficult.
Yeah, it's funny. I've cussed more than you have.
Who knew? Like, I mean, what was the over under on that? The possibility of that?
Yeah, I don't know what the over under was. I should have had a cuss.
I should have had a counter. We should have like a little counter in the corner next time and see how it goes. All right, so I'm gonna go with the fight between Cody Durden and Ulanbekov.
Okay.
Now I've got a few reasons for this. Like I for some reason I can't quite put my finger on it. I really dislike Cody Durden. I don't know why. There's something about the way that he talks. You know, just his general face that just makes me want to see the guy get flatlined. There's something about him.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I feel like with the style that he has, you know, Ulanbekov is kind of, as far as Dagestanis go, he's kind of a little bit of the runt of the litter. That sounds a little bit harsh. I think he's going to spend 50. Yeah, I just think he's, you know, his wrestling is not that good. His takedown defense is a bit iffy. I think he's going to get dry humped for 15 minutes. And I think we're all going to feel very uncomfortable watching it.
Yeah.
That's how I see that one.
That's a good one. So I
didn't even pick a ladies fight. I didn't pick a ladies fight. So I know. I knew you were expecting that, so I decided to throw a curveball in there. You know?
I was. So I uncharacteristically picked Irene Aldana against Cara Rosa. I don't think that this is going to be an exciting fight. And the reason being is because, one, Cara Rosa is not a finisher. That's just not what she's done in recent times. And Irene Aldana is more of a point fighter who's going to stay on the outside. I think that Rosa's going to press her up against the fence, and Aldana's going to try to break away from that, beat her with the jab, and we're going to be in for a decision that could be a split decision. I think Aldana's going to win it, but I mean, I'm going to watch it because that's what I do. But
I watch it,
and I actually am an Aldana fan. But I mean, I might still get up and get something to drink at that point in time too. So, I mean,
you're a very polite guy. It's good. It's good. I like it. No, that was on the. It was one I considered as well. I think the only reason why I swayed more towards the Durden fight is I think Aldana really was embarrassed last time out. You know, she did very little against Nunes.
Yeah.
And something tells me she's going to try and go for it a little bit more in this one. That was the only reason why I felt.
She's got
this is the kind of one where we both want to be wrong. We don't want any boring fights.
I really do. No, don't want any boring fights. But I mean, I think she's going to try to play it safe, kind of stand on business and hold on to her spot in the ranking so she can start to go back up. But
I think it's a good shot.
I don't know. Okay, so the next one, I'll skip this one. So I'll go to submission of the night. Which one do you think will be the submission of the night?
I had a little bit of back and forth about this one. I'm going to go with the fight between Royval and Pantoja. I know that, you know, before Pantoja fought Moreno, despite, you know, the 2 wins against him, I considered Moreno to be the best flyweight in the world. And we all saw what happened in that third fight. I just think they're both so, again, now I'm not sure which way. If I had to pick a side, I would say that I obviously think Pantoja's going to win the fight. I think he's unbelievable. I wouldn't be overly shocked if Moreno latched in a submission as well. He's kind of known for being able to grab a limb out of nowhere. He's got a few kind of, out of the blue, shot in the dark kind of submission wins in the past. He's more than capable of snatching up very strange positions on the ground. I just think with the skill that both of them have got, I can see if one of them makes a mistake, I can see the other one pouncing on it and it being, I think that for me, that's the most likely fight where we're going to see a submission on either side. And I think it would be, something flashy as well, potentially.
I almost went there, and I agree. I think that, Royval's, his ability to work in scrambles is crazy. I just don't know how he's thinking so fast during these scrambles. But the same thing, you could say the same thing about Pantoja, but like, and I do think that he's going to retain his belt, even though I want Royval to win.
I like Royval as well.
I really like Royval. I don't like his nickname. I don't like.
What is his nickname? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Raw Dog.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That makes me feel a little bit. I think I threw up a little bit in my mouth there. To be honest, that's not the
I feel
one.
a little uneasy. That sounds like something that you do and that you weren't supposed to be doing with a chick after the club. That's not cool. But
Fair play, yeah.
I do like his game. I like that he can finish the fight anywhere, and I think that he's exciting. But I think that Pantoja finds a way to get it done. And
they could cancel each other. We might not even see a sub. They could cancel each other out because they're both really good down there as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rematch, so Royval knows what to be looking for sure.
So what did you go with, my man?
I went with Paddy Pimblett against Tony Ferguson.
Oh no! So I guess it's.
I think that somehow Paddy gets it to the ground, and he subs him, and it takes Tony forever to tap, showing how tough he is.
That's a great shout,
But
because he's not going to submit, is he? He's probably gonna. It would be like him, with his tongue hanging out of his mouth and his literal crosses
something weird,
above his eyes.
Terrible, break his arm, something awful.
Yeah.
To make us all unbelievably sad. It's another one that I wish I'm wrong. I wish they didn't make this fight, to be honest.
Yeah.
I actually like Paddy. How is it over there with Paddy? Like, what are people's feelings over there about Paddy?
I think he's seen as a kind of a Weasley little scumbag, to be honest with you. I don't think anyone likes him from what I can. I think, you know what it is? It's like, I think where it went off a cliff for him was the way he responded after the Jared Gordon fight. I think he had the people behind him up until that point, and I think like to clearly lose that fight, it started out kind of well when he was like, I broke my leg in the first round, and we were expecting like, oh, you broke your leg in the first round, so that's why he beat you up for another 2 rounds. And do you know what I'm saying? And then to be like, I broke my leg, and then but I kicked his ass after that. It's like, and then the whole just arrogance of it, and I think everyone was like, this guy's an idiot. Like, we just turned on him then. And then I think just a general, I don't know, there's something about the guy that just doesn't, again, it's that organic thing again. I think he forces things a lot as well. But from what I can tell from how the people generally feel now, there's definitely been a turn on him.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, most people that I've interacted with, they don't really like him as much. I like him. I like Paddy. I thought that he lost that fight against Jared, and I didn't like that response. That was dumb. But that being said, I like the reason why I like him is because of his podcast. That's why I like him.
Do you know,
I
I've
watched
never
his
seen
podcast.
it, you know.
And I think that's what it is a lot of people haven't really seen that side of him, and he's just a different person there. And I think that's kind of what I gravitated to. But as far as the fighter, I do think that he's overhyped. And I think they were trying to, again, catch lightning in the bottle when it came to him. And he got gifted a decision. And a lot of times when fighters get gifted a decision that may have been controversial, you know, they do great things afterwards. And that's what I'm thinking is going to happen here. You know, that's what Sean O'Malley did against, you know, after he won against Peter Yan. You know, he did something spectacular. And maybe that's what Patty does here. Who knows?
Very possible. Yeah, I mean, I dog on him a lot, you know, especially anyone listening who follows my Twitter. I feel like it's taken up 90% of my content these days. You know, I go a little bit too hard on him. But yeah, I think like there's definitely a redemption arc there for him if he's willing to take it. And hopefully he's kind of learned from sometimes a little bit of humility is, you know, I think in his situation now, I think if he beats Tony, which I think we're all expecting, if he can be humble in victory, might go a long way to repairing some of the damage he's done, certainly with the fans over here.
I hope so.
Good shout for submission tonight, though. I like that one.
Yeah.
Breaks my heart, but I like it.
For real. Okay, so what do you think would be fight of the night?
I'm going with O'Neal and Lipski. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Oh, I'm like, what?
I'm kidding. Sorry, I just did it for the look on your face too. I'm sorry, man. Sorry, I did you dirty there. I'm going to go with Shavkat and Wonderboy. Now, I've got a few reasons again for picking that one over everything. I think people are talking like Shavkat is going to absolutely murder him. And nobody's higher on Shavkat than I am. Like, I love the dude. I think they're both going to have moments of adversity in this fight. I think it's going to be a war. Like, now there's the obvious thing of Shavkat could, obviously, he could dominate him on the ground, take him down and dominate him on the ground. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to stand with him, just like he did with Jeff Neal.
Yeah.
And I think anyone who plays that game with Wonderboy, at some point in the fight, you're going to get cracked. And, you know, I rate Jeff Neal. I think he's a very, very decent fighter. He had Shavkat hurt a few times in that fight, and obviously Shavkat chatted his way through it. But I think if he has the kind of style of fight that I expect him to have with Wonderboy, it's going to be very crowd pleasing. It's going to be on the feet for 3 rounds, unless something really crazy happens. I can see this being an absolute war, and both of them being hurt at stages, and then it just being a war of attrition. So I can see it coming down to this. It's what my gut's telling me.
I also picked Shavkat against Wonderboy. I totally agree. And what Wonderboy showed me in his last fight was he is still quick. And that is going to, I mean, and probably he's still quicker than the majority of people in the division. And that's amazing to say about somebody that's 40 years old. And I think that it's almost going to make Shavkat take the path of least resistance and take him down. But if Shavkat wants to stay, you know, doing that, like you said, against Jeff Neal, he got into a little bit of trouble, had to get a little bit closer and a little bit more intimate, had to grab him. And
what a fight that was, by the way. Holy
man,
God, that was such a great fight.
And Jeff Neal is, you know, from, maybe 30 minutes away from here. And he worked at a restaurant that I used to go to all the time. So like,
oh snap.
So yeah, like I take Jeff Neal conversation very personally, Ian Gary. But,
I'm glad I didn't say anything rude there. You know, it was you know how I stay sometimes. That was a close one. If we'd gone on for another few minutes, it could have got ugly. You know.
But nah, I think that that's going to be an amazing fight, and I think that if it stays on the feet, it'll definitely be crowd pleasing. And Shavkat can. I do think Shavkat's going to win, but if he doesn't take it down, he's playing with fire for sure. But it'll definitely be fight of the night, I think.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it, for sure.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a great one.
I'm worried, but I'm excited.
I feel like it's, because like I said, I think Shavkat's got like an incredible future, and part of me is like, I want to see him. Obviously, I want to see him do as well as possible, but
yeah,
nobody in their right mind wants to see Stephen Thompson get murdered in there. So
no,
it's a tough situation to be in.
Nah, dude drives a bus for school kids, to take them to the karate academy. Like, nobody wants to see that dude get knocked out like that.
No, even somebody as much of a scumbag as I am, like, I have to say, even with my black heart, I don't want to see anything too bad happen to Wonder Boy.
Nah. Okay, so what do you got for KO of the night?
Okay, I didn't think you would agree with me on this one, but now that we've had a little bit of time to go back and forth in it, we're running out of fights a little bit. I'm going with Josh Emmett versus Bryce Mitchell.
I almost went there.
I think not only I think Josh Emmett's gonna win, and I don't think he's just gonna catch him. I think it's gonna be like viral KO. Dang. I think he's going to be chin down, arse up. I think that's what we're going to see. It's going to look. It's going to be meme of the. It's going to be the meme of the year to close out the year. I think it's going to be.
He's going to have He's going to win the booty in the air award.
Chin down award. Yeah, bro. Honestly, and I think I like Bryce Mitchell. Like I enjoy him. Like. Mm-hmm. Just he's worried me. Like, I think he obviously got absolutely destroyed by Topuria.
Mm-hmm.
And then against Ige, I bet on Bryce, and I wasn't sure. Like, he got caught. It was one of those ones we were talking about earlier with the betting and stuff. Like, end of the night comes. Like, I felt like he did win, but you know how things are these days. He got cracked a couple of times.
Yeah, he did.
And I also think that Emmett, a little tank of a man, his takedown defense is very decent, and I can see, Emmett, Mitchell has this very bad habit of, at the start of a fight, he likes to test things out on the feet a little bit, and he's a bit goofy with it. And I think if he plays that game for too long with Emmett, he's going to get smashed. And I just have a feeling that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be brutal.
I think so. I think that Emmett catches him, because even when Emmett fought Yair Rodriguez, I was worried for Yair, even as it was getting closer to him getting that finish. Like, he carries power throughout the fight all the time.
That's all he does.
And you are one mistake away from going to sleep. And I agree, like, Bryce is goofy on his little entries and stuff like that. He does weird stuff that leaves him very open to getting caught. And you can't do that against Josh Emmett. And
that's where I'm kind of leaning. Because when the fight was initially made, I was thinking, I'm probably going to pick Bryce. And the more and more I thought about it and had more interactions with it, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I don't like the yeah. I'm just seeing an arse in the air. That's all I'm seeing. That's when I go to sleep at night. Maybe I've got some things to think about. But like, maybe some discussions that need to be had at home. You know what I'm saying? If that's the last thing I'm thinking about going to bed, like. But we'll save that conversation for another day.
In the closet, or if you're coming out of it, I'm not sure.
It's a conversation that's got to be had. I'm just realizing.
No, that's a good one. So my KO of the night is I think the Vicente Luque knocks out Ian Gary.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be a
I
beautiful
think
way
Ian
to end
Gary's
the year,
probably in his head. And I think that O has to go. I think that I think there's too much shit going on in his life right now, man. It's too much whirling around his head. And I think that he's not as focused as he needs to be. And when he fought Song Kanon a couple of fights ago, he got cracked. Like, he got hit.
I think if that fight went on 30 seconds, not even 15 seconds longer, he was gone.
Yeah.
He was gone.
And Luque is not that forgiving. So I think that Luque is going to catch him. Luque is very focused on this fight. And I think that the MMA guides kind of right the ship a little bit on this and allow him to create his own comeback story. So he's going to lose, tumble down the rankings, and then start his way back. People will start to forgive him for all the weird stuff with his wife and the Jeff Neal thing and everything as he makes his way back. I think that's for him. Actually, he might need to lose.
I think that's the beauty. That is the beautiful thing about MMA. I think it's not like boxing where you lose, your career's basically done once that bagel's gone. You know, sometimes the best way to learn in this sport is to get like a filthy humbling. So, and Luque's not a bad person to get it from, because, you know, he's not the kind of guy who's going to flatline you and then start dancing on your grave.
Yeah, nah.
He'll be gentle. He'll be gentle. He'll be gentle, you know.
Yeah. It'll be a nice ass whooping.
It'll be a nice ass whooping. If those exist, that's the best chance he's got is getting it from Luque. That's a great shout. Like I'm hearing a lot of people kind of more people than I was expecting saying that they don't like Gary in this one. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think that his eyes off the ball. I think that he's not.
How could it not be
concentrating? Plus, he's had to bounce around, you know, these different camps, and I don't know. I just don't think that he's as focused. But who knows? Maybe he doesn't need to be focused. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But I think he's gonna get his ass knocked out.
We'll see. I can see it.
All right, so here's the last one. Here's the last one. I don't know what the fuck is about to happen in this fight.
I'm going to be boring on this one, and it feels so bad to end it in this way. I'm going to go with the main event. And the reason why I'm going with Colby and Leon is because I've honestly thought about this fight 100 times over, and the way that I see it is I think it's going to be one-sided, one way or the other. I can see Leon either like stuffing everything and then on the feet just beating the absolute brakes off him standing, and it just being, because he's obviously the far superior striker. I mean, I don't think anyone would dispute that. Which is honestly what I'm kind of more leaning towards. You know, I think that if I had my arm twisted, I'd go with Leon in this and the fight going down that way. Or Colby successfully pressures him for 5 rounds, and it's going to kind of resemble what Kamaru did to him in the first fight between, you know, rounds 2 and 5, when he essentially had him pinned up down against the fence, ugly. But that's it. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen one way or the other. So I can see it being one of both extremes, and that's where I literally wouldn't be. It's one of those ones where anything that happens in this fight, maybe outside of a Colby chinning him, I think that would genuinely shock me. I think if Colby chinned him and he was knocked out cold, I think that's the only outcome that I'd be like, oh shit, like. But anything else wouldn't shock me in the slightest.
Yep, I went exactly where you just went.
See, the genius is in the game, man.
Yeah,
that's who we are.
I think that's what it is. But I think and I'm going to make a video about this, about why I'm so confused. Because, like, you know, leading into it, like, I was like, oh, Leon's got that. You know, I don't even think this dude even deserves a title shot. He's been out for, you know, a year and a half, more than that.
Yeah.
You know, like, why does he deserve a title shot? But then the more I started thinking about it, and I thought about the way that I've seen Leon be towards the end of fights, you know, when he fought Nate, how he started to, you know, be a little bit more susceptible to, you know, being hit against a person who does not have power. And then, like you said about Kamaru controlled him for a massive amount of that fight until he got head kick KO'd. Mm-hmm. And that was a Hail Mary. He was about to lose that fight.
He did have a very good first round. I give him that. To take Kamaru down was great, but then, and obviously it being in Utah, the altitude was something that's been talked about as a factor.
Mm-hmm. It creates a seed of doubt that I didn't know existed. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm worried about. And that's why I'm like, I was talking to CJ, and she's actually going for Colby, which is weird, but whatever. That's another conversation. And so, and I was telling her, I was like, I wouldn't bet on this fight. I really don't feel comfortable betting on this fight because I'm just not as confident. You know how when Kamaru would fight somebody, before Leon, he going into a fight, you're like, he's probably gonna win that fight. It almost doesn't even give you a lot to talk about. Or John Jones, when he would fight somebody, you're like,
he's definitely gonna get that done. Yeah, but
I don't feel that way.
The year we've had as well, this has been the year of the underdog. And the year of the unlikely, or the year of the impossible at times. It just felt like that, for sure. Where nothing feels certain anymore. And it's just
nothing.
For good and for
bad. That's what makes it so exciting.
100%, yeah. I think it's a good show.
I'm in total agreement.
Yeah.
Total agreement with that, for sure.
Excited anyway. Yeah. Great card to end the year. Just have to put a punctuation.
Excellent card.
Card.
Almost top to bottom.
It is from top to bottom.
For a card to have Randy Brown as the first fight,
it's crazy.
It's
crazy.
That's an insane card.
He was like the feature fight. Yeah, he was like the feature fight on a fight night not too while ago.
Yeah.
If I can remember rightly, he's. I know that's not saying much with the way the cards have been this year, but like you said, to have him as the opener. It's crazy. There's no fight on this card that's absolutely whack. There's not. There's just not. It doesn't. Fantastic fight to end.
Not at all.
Fantastic.
They got 5 ranked fighters on the early prelims. You don't see that often.
You never see that, really. No. It was only when I really looked at it a couple of weeks ago to start thinking about my breakdown. I was like, wow, no, this is legitimately stacked from top to bottom. We didn't even need a Bryce Mitchell to step in. I'm happy that he did. The card would have been all right still without him. I'm excited.
Yep, I think so.
I'm excited.
Cool. So we got through these two things. Before we jump off, anything you want to say to the folks out there about the channel or anything like that?
Expect more. There's going to be a lot more coming. This has been an absolute pleasure. I've enjoyed every second of this. It's been a really great experience, and I just want to say thanks for having me on, really, and for giving me the opportunity to do this. As I said at the beginning, I've been a fan of yours and CJ's for a while. I've been watching what you guys are doing. I think you're doing amazing things. So the opportunity to have a little back and forth here has been amazing, and I'm looking forward to doing more in the future.
For sure. Absolutely. We definitely do more. So yeah, anybody that doesn't follow him on Twitter, definitely do so. He is a hilarious follow. Definitely subscribe to him, to his channel. And if you're not subscribed here, that goes without saying.
That's insane. Yeah. I don't know why that would be the case, but do that immediately. And if you follow me, follow Making the Walk MMA as well if you haven't already, because like I said, don't start talking to me about production value though after you see his. I don't want to be hearing about none of that. Don't be coming from me. I don't be going to him and then talking down my stuff. That's what I'm gonna say. Just different. Let's take it as it is.
Yeah, I don't give betting advice. He gives way better betting advice than I do.
And I have had a pretty good year, to be fair. I'm hovering at around 70%, which is not bad for the year.
That's pretty good
better
for
than I was
MMA,
expecting.
for sure.
100%. Yeah, it was a lot of luck along the way. I guess the judging isn't that bad. I don't know what I'm complaining about. I should be on the opposite side.
You give some,
and
you give and take. It's a give and take on that.
100%. Yeah.
Cool. So until next time, y'all, we'll catch you later.
Peace.